So here we have a very interesting option to talk about, which is merge and append queries. If you see under the home tab on the right hand side, we have merge queries and append queries. So what are these, by the way? Let us understand it theoretically through this discussion. See, merging the queries is just like adding new columns from other table. You may have used VLOOKUP in Excel, right? So just consider this as VLOOKUP. Okay, based on one common column, you're gonna fetch another column from the other table. The other thing which is known as append queries is basically adding new rows in the existing, or you can create a new table altogether. Now we'll be talking about these two. We'll be understanding these two features. First, let us talk about append queries. First, we'll be creating a table, and then we'll be using merge into that also. Okay, for the demo purposes. And we have a very relevant example with us. If you have noticed the data that I have given you, AdventureWorks, you may have noticed that we have 3 sales files with us. I want you to first connect to them. Okay. So for this, first I'll simply go to Power Query, and need not to go into Power BI desktop and go to get data. It's not required. Under Power Query, you can see under the home tab, we have the new source. Under the new source, I'll simply go with text or CSV. Remember, that is a CSV file that we have. I'll click over here. It has detected, and let me connect to them. We can't do it at the same time. We can't connect to all the files at the same time. So we have to repeat this process. So I'm selecting this 2015. I'll click open, and over here it's just coming up. Let it come, and would like to show you very interesting thing over here. If you are concentrating on each and everything that we have discussed so far, it is showing you OK, only OK, not either load or transform, because we are into Power Query, not into Power BI desktop, right? There it asks there it gives that option to us. So I'll simply say OK, and now you will notice it is actually coming up over here. You got it. So now we have this AdventureWorks Sales 2015. You know that I have told you 2 things that we have to do. First of all, I have to rename this, and it's a fact table. Remember, I've told you earlier what is a fact table, which is actually showing some fact. So sales are the fact. These are the transactions that happened. So I'll put F in front of it. I'll press enter. So I'm just renaming this entire table, number 1. Second of all, I'll be checking the data type. So you should also check it at your end. That order date has been detected as a date, which is absolutely fine. Stock date as date. Order number as a string. It's absolutely okay. Product key as a number, a whole number. Customer key as a whole number. Territory key as a whole number. Order line item, whole number. Order quantity as whole number. Absolutely fine. Everything is okay for me, right? Now, this is okay. Now we need to add the rest of the 2 files also. So I'll go to the new source, text or CSV, 2016, sales 2016, right? Let it do its job. In the meanwhile, okay, process, okay, right? And it's coming up. There we go. So I'll simply change this name also, which is F Fact Sales 2016. And I'll just thoroughly check the data types. I believe everything is absolutely fine, right? We are good. And again, I'll go to the new source, text or CSV, and I'm going to add the next file, 2017. It's coming up. Let it do its job. Okay. Come up. There we go. I'll simply say okay. And once it will come up, we have to change the name. I'll be changing the name over here to F Sales 2017. So we got all the 3 files now. So we have the 3 files. The purpose is that we won't be loading them directly into Power BI. What I want is I want to keep only one sales file, right? And that's where appending the query actually comes in and help us. So we'll be creating one single table or a query out of these 3. Okay, how to do it? Under the home tab, as I've already mentioned, on the rightmost corner, we have append queries, and in the drop down, we have an option of append queries as new. So suppose I am right now in 2017, and if I go with append queries, it will simply add few more rows here into this table, which I don't want. I don't want to temper these three tables queries. So I'll simply go to append queries as new. Okay, so it will be popping up a box over here. As you can see, how many tables you want to connect, 2 or 3 or more. I want to, yes, connect to 3 or more. You can see we have 3 tables. It is already showing me 2017 over here because that was already selected at the time of clicking on this option, right? So it's absolutely fine. I want to add 2015, so I'll simply select it, click on add, it'll go over there. I'll select it 2016 and I'll click on add. Boom, it's here, right? So we have all the 3 queries with us. The sequence I don't like because it's coming 2017 as the first one, and if I click OK, it will merge in this sequence only. The data will appear in this sequence, which I don't want. So what I'll do, I'll simply shift, I can shift it to the bottom. So I'll select it and you can see the arrow over here. I'll click it twice and it will take me to the end of this box. I'll click OK and that's it. So it's just processing once again. And there we go. We got a new table in the name of append 1. I don't want to keep this name. So what I would say, F-sales. That's it. Okay. So I've given this name to this entire table and we got all these. I wanted to show you that whether it has connected to all that data or not, how we can actually do it. Wanted to show you through one means over here. If I go to transform, and this order date is selected, you know that the data is for 2.5 years, right? From the very 1st of January 2015 till 30th June 2017. So if this is selected, I'll go to transform and there you can see statistics. And now I would say, sorry, my mistake. I need to go to date, by the way. In the date, I would say earliest is already there, by the way. So I'll go with latest. So it'll convert the entire table into one value, which is actually something I don't want. I just wanted to show you what is the latest date. It says 30th of June 2017. That is what I was looking for. I'll simply remove the step and the entire table will come back. So this is a process of appending the query. I hope you got the idea. Let us talk about merging the queries. Remember, merging the queries means adding a new column. How to do merging? Suppose over here, if you see what all we have, I wanted to concentrate you on one thing. We have the product key available, right? But we don't have the product cost. Suppose I want to fetch the product cost over here. How we can do it? Okay, or maybe I want to fetch the product model here. How can we do it? I'll just fetch the product cost for sample purposes. So for this, if you see, we should be having the product table also, which we didn't connect to so far. So let us first connect to the product table. So for this, we'll go to new source. We'll go to text or CSV and I'll simply select the products table. I'll click open. This is the same way we have to do, right? Connecting through the data is similar to what we have understood so far. So let it do its job. Okay, and you will notice it will start processing the same and will end up having one products table here. You can see Adventure Works products. So first of all, I'll change this name to what? Think about it, think about it, think about it. Fact or dimension? Fact or dimension is going to be, yes, it's going to be dimension, right? It's not a fact. It's not the transaction. It's a dimension table, right? Masters basically. Now, just check the data types. Everything is fine or not. Just go through with this. Yes, absolutely fine. I think Power BI is good, very good. And that's it. And you can see we have the product cost column here. This is what we need to fetch it into the sales table. Based on which common column? Think about it. Think about it. That's going to be the product key, right? We have the product key in sales also. We have the product key in products table also. So we need to match it. And based on that, we're going to fetch the cost of the product. Yes. Okay, so I'll go to the sales table, and here what do I need to do? Dun, dun, dun. Under the home tab on the rightmost corner, you can see merge queries. Under the merge queries, we can click on the drop down. Do you want to merge it over here, or you want to merge it as a new? No, I don't want to do it as a new. I'll simply go with merge queries. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, let's click on merge queries. So what it'll technically do, it will simply put the column here inside this sales table. Okay, and this is a visual VLOOKUP. Yes, if you are an Excel user, you know about VLOOKUP, and this is quite amazing. It's a visual VLOOKUP. Over here, what do we have? We have the sales table. We have the entire sales table, and over here we don't have other tables. So first we need to choose from which table you need to fetch the values. You remember it's going to be the products table. So in the drop down, I'll come to choose the products, and it will show me everything related to the products table. What do we have common? Think about it. We have product key. So once I click, guys, look at that. Once I click over here, you will notice at the bottom it says select the same number of columns from both visible tables to continue. So we are halfway. Okay. Now you need to concentrate here at the bottom. The moment I click on the product key, it will do something over here. Something magical will happen. So let's click on the product key, and there we go. There we go. We got it. And you can see it's mentioned as the selection matches these many rows from the first table. It means we are good. There is a green check. We like it a lot. Like it a lot. Yeah. Okay. So this green check. Let's click OK, and we are done. Not yet, by the way, but we got a new column in the name of products, and you can see every cell of this column is having the table with the link actually. Because think about it, we mentioned that, okay, from which table we need the values, but we didn't mention that which column of that table we needed over here. Okay, so that is the reason it bought the entire table for us. Now we have to choose the column. How we can do it? If you see, we have this double arrow. Okay, so we'll click over here, and it will open up the list of all the columns that are there in the products table that you can choose from. You can also select the all column. It means it will fetch all the columns from the product over here, which we don't want, because it is ultimately making the table redundant. Okay, in fact, this procedure is making the data redundant. Although we are not going to use it, I'm just showing you for your understanding purposes, for a sample purposes. It is better to build a relationship and get the data instead of putting the data in each other's table. It's not good to do it. Anyways, so I'll simply uncheck it. What we are looking for is the product cost, remember. So I'll simply go over here and check the product cost. And one little option here which says use original column name as prefix. Okay, now what is the original name of the column is basically products. Do you want to keep that as prefix? So it will come like D products dot product cost. I don't want that, right? So I'll simply uncheck it because I want to keep only product cost as the name of the column. That is the reason it is asking this thing. So I'm good with that. I'll simply say OK. And now you'll see it has expanded D products, and I'm getting that one column also in the name of product cost. So my dear friend, these are the two things which you can use in future. One is appending the queries, and one is merging the queries. Appending means adding new columns based on the, Appending means adding new rows, and merging means adding new columns. I hope you got it. Thank you so much. Just practice a lot.